When I consider the difficulties that we are currently having in the world, particularly our foreign policy, the United States with the Middle East, with especially Syria, and of course there's always Iraq, Afghanistan. We, my problem that I'm having is that there's the question as far as whether we should, you know, strike Syria over the recent alleged incidences of chemical weapons use on its civilians. On the surface, I can see and uh, agree with the option to protect the innocent. At the same time, I'm torn by exactly how much we need to be involved. The United States has lost a lot of credibility in the world. And when you're talking about global powers, it is very important to maintain the stance, the image of being able to protect yourself. And the United States no longer carries that image, that power that it used to. And so, as we struggle to maintain the protection of the innocent, we also need to remember that our first and foremost priority is to the citizens of the United States of America. If we cannot adequately secure our own people, we really do not have any business being elsewhere in the world protecting those people. Um, and the thought that keeps coming to my mind every time I think about this is liberty. And, you know, looking back on our own independence here in the United States, it took a very peculiar, very special set of characteristics for our founding fathers to be able to organize and set up this country. Yes, they had problems with Britain, but it wasn't on a scale of it wasn't a generational thing where, like in the Middle East, these people have been fighting for thousands of years, if not hundreds. And so it's a generational thing to them. It's a people thing to them. You know, it's ingrained in them to fight. And so, and of course, this is judging from me, you know, 10,000 miles away. But I have to question, you know, to what degree do rebels have? Uh, what kind of liberty do they have? Is it something that is liberty, true liberty, the ability to produce a life that you can choose um, prosperity over ill decisions, to choose education, to choose what kind of job you want, to choose to have a Twinkie versus a hot dog, to have the liberty to own property, to protect your family, to pass that on to your generations? Is this liberty the type of liberty that they share? Or is it something different. And I think that's at the heart of what we need to remember when we try and liberate or help these other countries. These other countries that we have helped, I have yet to see one that has carbon copy the United States as far as the love of liberty, the love of prosperity, and the freedom of choice. We need to keep that in mind as far as our own reasons for going in. I'm very sorrowed over the Syrian civilians having chemical weapons used against them. I do not, however, know for a fact that it was the Syrian government that used it against them, or perhaps Al Qaeda. They're sinister as well. They can do that. They have no regard for life. And so I cannot justify going in and liberating a people or creating a vengeance upon a government without knowing for sure. But in addition to that, if these people against the government, if they have true liberty in their heart, they need to see this through. They need to find a way to go through it. Anyhow, those are my thoughts regarding the Middle East. And what's dangerous right now is we have an allegiance, a duty, if you will, to protect Israel. And just as the Bible says, all the nations are going to be circled about Israel to destroy it. And that's where we are. And, if some kind of a war breaks out in the hotbed of Syria, Israel is going to be on the top of the list. And of course, Iran is going to jump on board as well. So we just need to keep in mind, who to help as far as liberty. And so I'm on the fence as far as going in, but I also know that if we cannot secure our own borders, our own economy, our own way of life, we really have no business elsewhere in the world trying to build them up. We all have our battles, we all have our fights that we have to fight, on our own. So let it be done. So those are my thoughts on the Middle East and our duty to protect it.